Hello, first grade. I hope you've had a lovely day and lovely lessons and time with your family. And we have a little story tonight, or maybe it's the afternoon. Sweetness from the flowers, a candle from the bees, for our hearts a story, light and peace. Once upon a time, not very long ago and not very far away, lived Willow and Ollie with their family. And they were inside eating a lovely breakfast of French toast and even some pancakes, for their mother had made pancakes the day before and there was leftover batter. And Mother put some berries in the batter and swirled the batter around and put it on the hot griddle where it sizzled and bubbled. They were delicious with a little bit of oil and a little bit of syrup. And Willow giggled and said, "Pancakes always remind me of pine cone and pepper pot." "Well, what about tiptoes?" said Ollie. And Willow laughed. "Yes, tiptoes too, but pine cone and pepper pot love their pancakes." "That's true," said Ollie. And a little bird whistled and sang outside the window. And both the children looked up to see it, and it flew away, a little brown bird. Perhaps, thought Ollie, the little brown bird that told Grandmother Earth that they were staying home now. The sun shone, and rays of golden light came through the leaves. And when the children were done eating, they put their dishes in the sink and rinsed them. And then Willow skipped ahead to go outside and play. Ollie made sure that his fork was in the sink. Oh, Willow," he said. She had left her fork too, but was already long gone out the door. So Ollie helped her out. "Oh dear," he said, as he put her fork in the sink. And then Ollie walked out too, and there the warmth of the sun fell upon his cheeks and the top of his head and warmed his shoulders and his arms, and he stopped and looked up and closed his eyes and soaked in the beautiful warm blanket of sunshine. Well, Willow had her skirt out again, and there were many, many little green fruits on the ground. She was plopping them in her skirt, handful by handful. Ollie grabbed a couple in his hand and shoved them in his pocket, and a few more in his other hand, and there his pockets were bulging again. Willow had a full skirt before Ollie's pockets were full. A breeze blew and rustled through her hair. And she thought, "I have an idea." And she went over to the patio where the bricks were laid. And there she knelt down and let all of the little green fruits slide from her skirt and scatter upon the brick. "What are you doing?" Ollie asked Willow. "I have an idea. I have an idea for a game," she said. "I'll be right back." And as she was saying, "I'll be right back," she was already skipping into the house. Well, Ollie took out his little green fruits and put them there on the ground. And before he was even done, Willow was back. She had paper and pencils and 2 die, or dice. And she gave one of the die to Ollie and kept the other one for herself. "What am I supposed to do with this?" he said. "Just wait," said Willow, and she skipped back into the house and came back with a little board, a flat little painting board, so that they could put the papers on it, and that's just what she did. She laid the flat little board onto the ground next to the little green fruit pile, and then she put the pencils on top of the paper, and she put her die on top of the paper too. "Put your die there," said Willow, and Ollie put his there next to hers. "Now, watch what I do," she said, and she took one of the die, cupped in her hand, and she looked at it, and then she looked at Ollie with a little smirk, back at her die, and she blew on it. "For good luck," she said, and then she shook it in her hand again and let it fall out of her hand onto the board. It rolled and clattered and then fell onto a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dots. "5," she said. And she took a pencil and she took her paper with lines on it, blue lines and some red, and she wrote 5 on the lines. And then she wrote plus next to it. "Now watch," she said. And she took the die again and rolled it in her hand, but stopped, blew on it for more good luck, and rolled it again on the board, and it clattered and rolled and then landed on a 3. 1, 2, 3 dots. "Oh," she said, 5, and she held up her whole hand of fingers, plus 3, and she held up 3 fingers on the other hand. 5, 6, 7, 8. 5 plus 3 equals, and she put the 2 lines for an equals, 8. There. "Oh, and we're supposed to put a full moon in between it." So she took her pencil and made a big round circle and filled it in for the full moon. "Now it's your turn," she said. "But if you get less than 8, I get to keep one little green fruit. And if you get more than 8, well, then you get to keep a little green fruit. So each time we see who has more. And they win a fruit." "I think I understand," said Ollie. So Ollie took a die, shook it with both hands around it. "This is my good luck," he said, and he opened his hands and let the die drop. It clattered and rolled around and landed on 4. "Ah," he said, 1, 2, 3, 4 dots, 4. And he took his pencil and put on his piece of paper 4 plus. And then he took the die again, rolled it around in both his hands, cupped one hand cupped over the other so it closed up. And then he opened them up and the die rolled down and clattered and then landed on a 5. "Whoa," he said, and he put 5 next to the plus. "Let's see," he said, and he held up 4 fingers. 4 plus 5, and he held up another whole hand of fingers. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, he said, counting on all his fingers. 4 plus 5 equals, and he put an equal sign on his paper, 9, and he put a 9 down. And he held out his hand, and Willow gave him the die. No, Ollie said, I get a little green fruit. 9 is more than 8. Oh, said Willow, giggling, taking the die back. And she gave him a little green fruit, which he placed very neatly in a pile, a beginning pile, next to him. Now Willow and Ollie played this game for some time, taking turns, and whoever had the higher number got a little green fruit to put on their pile. They played until their mother called them in for a snack. And they said, "Wait a moment, Mother." And they each counted up their piles to see who won. I wonder who you thought would win. Maybe we'll find out tomorrow. And in Willow and Ollie went for their snack. Stars, moon, sun, now our story is done. May it rest in our hearts, and the light now shine from within. Goodbye.